So was this supposed to be the final reckoning, or will there be more reckoning? Guys, back on the cinema scale, we are taking a look at the eighth and supposedly final installment of the Mission Impossible franchise, The Final Reckoning. The film is directed by Christopher McQuarrie. He's been the director of the franchise since Mission Impossible number 4, Ghost Protocol. The film stars Tom Cruise alongside Haley Atwell, Simon Pegg, and Greg Davis. This film takes place 2 months after the movie Dead Reckoning. In this film, Ethan and his team band together to be able to identify, track, and find the source code for the entity that's buried deep beneath the Atlantic in a submarine called the Sevastopol. Well, with Earth's fate hanging in the balance, Ethan and his team must accomplish a series of many mission obstacles in order to complete this seemingly impossible mission. This movie is indeed the most gripping, the most death-defying, the most stunt-filled, the most adventurous, action-packed film that I have seen in a long while. Tom Cruise gives his best performance in this movie. We can tell that the pressure is on as Ethan Hunt is striving to cope with the challenges of his circumstances. He's trying to deal with all of the things that has caused him to become who he wants to be or has come to be while dealing with this brand new cyber enemy. And I thought Tom was great. I really enjoyed seeing the intensity and the drive that he had in carrying out the character of Ethan. I also enjoyed Benji's character, Simon Pegg. I really loved seeing Benji come from the third film into the franchise as a side character, grow into a full character, and now in this movie taking a leadership role to be able to carry out this story. It was nice too that they added some new, fresh members to the IMF team, and Haley Atwell carries it well. I really loved her as Grace in this movie. She balances out that action adventure with sweet and beautiful-esque in her character. She's very different from Ilsa Faust. Ilsa was more of a aggressive, violent, upfront type, but her as Grace, very docile, very humble, very sweet and kind, a real partner and asset to Ethan. Now, although there were some great add-ons, there were some concerns in connection with the characters they chose to cultivate in this movie and characters they didn't cultivate in the movie. For example, Greg Davis as Agent Theo. Okay, we know based on the trailers that he joins Ethan's team, but his character development is scathy or skimpy at best. He doesn't get any screen time, and it's kind of like seeing a decorative item in passing. It's good, it's there, but I'm not going to be dwelling on it all day. It's there, it's cute, it stays in its place, and that's Greg in this movie. That's Agent Theo. He's cool, he's great, he's in there for a few scenes, not much dialogue, but he's there, and it works. It works. But one thing in particular that really made this movie exceptionally difficult, one thing out of many, was what they did to the character of Gabriel. We're expecting this character, Gabriel, as our villain to rise up with this tremendous backstory. We're supposed to get this amazing insight, and we get nothing. Throughout the film, Gabriel pops in and out as if by magician magic. And when he is on the screen, we don't learn much about his past or connection with Ethan. There's just a lot of slick one-liners, and there's a lot of, I'm going to get you, and there's a lot of, I'm going to get you back, and there's a lot of, teenage boy drama in between these two, which makes this movie very, very annoying to watch when these two are on screen. Good tension, but it's a little bit juvenile when dealing with the fact that Gabriel is supposed to be this massive presence in Ethan's history, making him the man that he is at present time. We don't get much background or clarity on Gabriel. The movie's runtime is 2 hours and 49 minutes. I watched it in the IMAX format. I do recommend that you watch it that way because it was filmed for IMAX, and every inch of the action, lights, colors, scenery, and places that they visit throughout the film is beautiful, and it shows on this screen. But the real question about Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, is, does this movie give you final closure? Now, although the movie carries out the entertainment factor, from the moment this movie starts, you are getting a rush. From the moment that this movie starts, you are literally on the edge of your seat trying to figure out where are they going to go next. But the reality is, after watching an hour of the movie, you're trying to get to that conclusion. Okay, what is going to happen to the character of Ethan Hunt? What is going to be his fate at the end of the movie? And what is the theme that we're dealing with? Well, one of the things that is concerning to many Mission Impossible fans is the fact that this movie doesn't provide any closure toward its end. It can be repetitive. For example, Mission Impossible has always had that backs to the wall moment where the characters are at this dead end and they don't know where they're going to go from there. And they have to do something that's impossible, but they have one possible option that can save the entire world. That theme carries on throughout the entire franchise and it works, but I feel like it's also the same thing that cripples this movie in connection with believability and relatability. Okay? If you're going to bring this story to life and give it closure, you're going to have to shy away from some of those same elements that we're used to seeing as fans. Another thing in particular with this movie that I found to be just a little bit difficult was that there are going to be scenes that kind of feel as though they were borrowed from other films in the franchise. And so some of the stunts, although they are a lot more intense, we can kind of connect them to other movies in the franchise. And that kind of makes the action sequences slow down just a bit. But there was good connection between this movie and the third movie and the first movie. There were characters who did return from the other Mission Impossible movies. And I love the way they bring it around full circle, theming the character of Ethan. Our lives are the sum of our choices. This movie is literally the true fallout of all of Ethan's past actions. So it was nice to be able to see them connect the story that way. But overall, the film does not set us up as if this is going to be Ethan's final movie. It doesn't feel as though it was the final reckoning, but that there will be more reckoning in the future. So guys, the final reckoning, how did this movie make you feel? Where were you when the first Mission Impossible came out? Did you love this movie, hate this movie? And did you have to go to the bathroom at some point during the film? Runtime 2 hours and 49 minutes. Wow. 2 hours and 49 minutes. I will never get back. Thank you guys. We'll catch you on the next review. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.